What's up? What's up? Peace and love, everyone. Welcome back to the show, Let Culture Speak. I have a special guest with me, principal technical artist at Steelwood Studios. He works on Five Nights at Freddy's games like Secret of the Mimic and taught himself auto mechanics on his spare time. Originally from Oakland, studied animation and visual effects in Rochester, New York, and Emeryville. Nathan Spandorf. Did I get that right?
How's it going? Yeah, thanks for having me on.
No, I appreciate you for being here. How are you doing? First of all, how's everything?
I'm doing good. Yeah, it's a rainy day for the first time in a while, so I kind
Yeah,
of like that.
it was
Yeah,
really hot yesterday, and then all of a sudden,
yeah,
um, so the changing of temperatures is gonna get a lot of people. But yeah,
yeah, doing good though. Yeah,
cool,
I've
cool.
been haven't been outside as much today because of
Yeah,
the rain. Yeah,
okay. So I want to ask like your background, where you grew up, um, like your parents, anything about your background, where you grew up, pretty much. Let's start there.
yeah. Well, I grew up in Oakland, and my parents, my dad is a computer and technician for large format printers. So he's kind of like a jack of all trades. He's always working on some new project and some new thing. So he started a company for selling printers, and he services printers that like would create big banners for the airport. And
Oh.
my mom is a painter and an artist. And before she met my dad, she was making armatures for like special little like custom designs at a museum. So I
Mm.
kind of grew up exposed to like crazy madman, like entrepreneur dad and artistic mom. So I think that probably inspired me to become a technical artist, which is like a perfect union of those two things. And
So really into the creativity of it too. um
yeah, yeah, creativity and like kind of solving puzzles with creativity, with artistic creativity. But I grew up outside a lot. Like we had one TV in the house, and they would always unplug it and be like, "Go outside and go like dig in the dirt or something." So
oh, those were the days, man. Those were the
yeah,
days. Not so
yeah,
much really right now, with everything that's going on, especially with the news and stuff. It just kind of fuels you. But okay, so your creativity, um where how did you end up where you are now through your technical artistry? Like, what is the process that you went through? Start by in Rochester, New York. Was it Rochester, New York, or Emeryville first?
well, yeah. So I mean, I in high school I went to Oakland Tech, and they have a program there. I studied biotechnology in high school. So I thought I was going to go into that industry, and that's why I went to Rochester, New York, because my family had also gone there, and they had a really good biotech program. But when I got there, I didn't really. It wasn't what I expected. It wasn't really what I was looking for. And my roommate was doing game design, and I saw what he was doing, and it looked like so much fun. So I just opened up my computer and just started kind of following along with his classes and learning what he was doing. And that, of course, took a toll on my biotechnology degree. So I started doing badly in my classes, but I was working really hard on his classes, just not getting credit for it, of course. So eventually, only after the first year, I left RIT and I went to Provincetown, Massachusetts, where I worked at a bicycle shop. So I was a bike mechanic by day, and then I lived in the basement of the bicycle shop, and I studied on like digital tutors and different like online resources, YouTube, um, to learn how to 3D model. So I just kind of took what he was doing as a foundation and just was like, I want to do this. I love this. And I was sculpting characters and like modeling environments, and I mean, I really enjoyed building out worlds and
Really?
creating storytelling through the environments. Like, oh, there's a drip here, and that means that this thing has happened. Like kind of creating a story if you pay attention to the details. But then the summer ended, so I came back to the Bay Area, and that's when I went to Expression College in Emeryville.
in Emeryville.
I studied animation and visual effects there, and that school was really what you made of it. There was a lot of people that weren't there, or they were just kind of there because they needed to be somewhere,
Yeah.
and I don't know, they didn't really support people as much as I thought they could have, but it was perfect for somebody that was already coming in with some momentum. So it worked for me, although a lot of my schoolmates, it didn't work for them, unfortunately. But I studied there for 2 or 3 years, and then out of that class, one of my teachers was working at Pixar, creating their own studio, and they kind of just pulled me along and hired me out of school, and that's the company I work for now. Still,
With Pixar, you said.
well, he was working at Pixar,
Act Pixar.
but he
Okay.
created his own company, Steel Wool Studios. So I work at Steel Wool. It's just some of the founders of Steel Wool used to work at Pixar.
So was it a startup from the beginning, and they just picked you up?
Yeah,
Where
I mean,
where?
I think they just had a vision to do things the way that they wanted to do it
Hmm.
and build projects and have fun with those projects.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it was a fun startup. I didn't ever imagine that I'd still be here and we'd be working on Five Nights at Freddy's, which is so much fun.
So
But
how many years have you been in the Steel Wool um, studios?
yeah, next month it's going to be 9 years.
9 years. Wow.
Yeah.
Do you still have that passion and drive to still work on games, or yeah? Let's start there.
Well, I mean, it's definitely developed. I have different feelings about it than when I first started. I mean, I was just willing to do anything, like work long hours and not get paid, and just didn't care. Now I got a mortgage to pay.
Yeah. Yeah.
But for the passion, I still have the passion 100%.
Nice.
It's just I've seen my passion change and mature with my life I mean, 9 years from 20 to 30 is a long time. So
Yeah.
I've personally changed and my passion has changed with that.
Your
But
interests
yes,
and things are just around. It changes,
yeah,
yeah, for sure.
yeah.
Uh,
Because I thought I wanted to be, if you asked me 10 years ago, I wanted to be a 3D modeler for Pixar. And now I've realized that there's a lot more nuance to that and depth in technical art and working on video games. Not that there's not challenges, of course, as a movie production house, but I really enjoy working on games because it kind of limits you in the rendering technology. And I kind of like that limitation, to find clever ways to kind of cheat what you're seeing to make it look as good as possible with the heavier limitations. I don't know. I
mm,
just find that really fun,
mhm.
instead of rendering something for, 10 hours and then it looks beautiful. But how do you make that same beautiful thing, but run it on a lower end, like a Switch or something, or a
Yeah.
PS4 even?
Yeah. Uh, you built up in those 9 years. You kept learning and learning, correct? Like
Oh, for
from
sure.
different from school, you actually got into the workforce and actually developed yourself for 9 years, correct?
For sure. I mean, I think one of the most important skills is the skill to learn new things.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that I learned in school that have either been automated or are no longer relevant. Um, and so
So
I've had to
what are
constantly.
those things that are automated now, especially with AI? What are you seeing in the industry that's changing?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of like smaller specific examples, like UV mapping, how you would represent a flat texture, something that's been painted on a 3D object. Just that process used to be really difficult, like defining how that fit onto the 3D model. And now there's a lot of tools that will do that for you automatically, and then you just do a little bit of cleanup, and there's there's just complete different, like for example, UE5 just came out recently, or not just, but recently, and they have this technology that allows you to use much more fidelity in the 3D model. And we used to have to reduce the polygon count of the model to fit in the scene properly. And now there's this technology, Nanite, that allows you to use much more geometry and much more fidelity, and it just kind of figures it out. It's like black magic. It's amazing.
So
So yeah, good.
so it's a lot of mathematics I'm hearing. Um,
Hmm.
is it easier, or is you're still continual learning? Does it ever get hard at times that you have to figure out, just like a puzzle that you said you
Yeah,
like
I mean,
solving?
I get like sometimes I'll look at a challenge and I get these like stress sweats, and I'm like, I got to figure this out. And I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. There's in the moment it feels like it kind of sucks, but I think those moments of what really have been what really defines my growth
Mm-hmm.
is being stressed and pressured, and we have a deadline, and I got to get this done, and like you can't just work on it forever. We got to move on to the next thing, and
Yeah.
it's like let's just sit down and figure it out together,
Correct.
get it
Correct.
done. Yeah.
Any okay, let's talk about the games that you have worked on. What has been the most fun slash challenging that you've worked on, and then probably get into what you're working on now.
Well, we worked on Help Wanted, the first Five Nights at Freddy's game that Steel Wool has done. And we were a pretty small team, inexperienced at particular things that were required for that game to be successful. And it was very challenging. I put a lot of time into learning things that I had never learned in school, and it was very rewarding. And honestly, like I still can't believe how successful it was. It really shocked me, but I was proud at the same time. I mean, just this kind of scrappy band of weirdos coming together and figuring something out together and fighting, but then like getting along, and like we were like a bunch of brothers and sisters, like just trying to figure something out, and
Yeah.
that was really rewarding, and it allowed us to continue to build next games.
Hmm. Did you? So you're contracted. From what I've we talked about last time, are you contracted with any other projects that you're working on?
Well, I'm a salaried employee for Steel Wool,
Still will.
so for the company. So um, not I'm not specifically contracted with projects. I'm at the whim, of the decisions that the company's making based on where they see fit my resources to be allocated best.
Is Are you guys just working on the Five Nights at Freddy's, or was there any other games or that you know of, or that? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when I first started working for Steelwool, we were working on a Warhammer game.
Oh.
Um, we did another one called Bounce. We did some Ready Player One uh, games, or just
Really?
one, but it was part of a group of different games.
Hmm.
So yeah, we did a Hello Neighbor game. That one's really good. I think that one's underrated. I love that game. But
What is
yeah,
your favorite game out of all? I
that
know
we
this is
worked
off
that we
topic,
worked
but
on, or just
no,
that I play personally.
that you play personally.
And so I'm kind of weird when the way that I play games. I mean, I just love the visuals of it. So
Hmm.
I can't get away from Crisis, like Crisis 3. But there's another game called Spin Tires, and that kind of goes to my like off-roading, like working on vehicles side, where you basically, even especially if you, I will occasionally cheat and put some like free money and free vehicles into the game, just so I can explore the beautiful environments and drive around and just like drive through the mud, and I just like the visuals of a game. Like I'm
Right.
the kind of guy that will play a shooter and put it on the easiest level and then like walk up to the enemy as he's shooting me in the face and be like, whoa, look at like how they did that hair shader, and oh,
Oh.
that rock is floating while the guys are like shooting me. Because I don't know, I do care for the story, but games like Crisis and Spin Tires and Skyrim, and I grew up playing Morrowind, so the Elder Scrolls series is really like
S-
fundamental for me.
So you're a CPU guy mostly, mostly a computer.
Well, the GPU, the video card would be kind of what's rendering the visuals of it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the CPU is like simulation. For Spin Tires, the mud is all CPU and the simulations of that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd say the GPU is where it's at for me for the visuals of it.
Oh, sorry. What's your console that you usually play on?
Oh, PC.
PC. Okay. So
Sorry.
your interest has changed and you're working on vehicles. How is that? How's that? I know you worked on two, three other cars, and you've been
Yeah.
successful. You get it running. Um, go into that, like learning about because you love puzzles, you love solving things.
Yeah.
How did you get into working on cars and actually making it work?
Well, that kind of, I feel like it probably goes back to my dad teaching me how to build things and electronics. And when I got incredibly, maybe I'm a bit of an obsessive person. So I got incredibly obsessed with my job at Steel Wool. And it took up so much of my time that it honestly became a little bit unhealthy. So I had to branch out a little bit and find hobbies and things that would also make me happy that was not just my job. And I was already thinking that way when COVID started. And then all of a sudden, I'm at home, not even going into work with my coworkers, just working on the computer. And that is really not how I wanted to
So
live my life, you know?
so you haven't been back to the office ever since COVID. There's no option to go back that they're asking.
No, they're not. They're not asking right now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man. Yeah, that really sucks.
but I'm very thankful that we've been able to be successful. Like I'm thankful that we were in an industry that was able to continue to function during COVID, and a
Yeah,
lot of other industries were not. Um, but I had to find physical, rewarding hobbies that gave me something to do when I turn off the computer. Because there's something to turning off the computer and looking at my desk, and I know that I've done something to that day
hmm,
but it's all digital. It's like I can't be like this thing that I worked on is done and it's better than when I started. And there's just something that is mechanically appealing to me about just having something that has been completed, you know.
yeah, yeah.
And the latest project I did is my my wife's boss gave me a 99 Ford Ranger because cylinder 6 was misfiring, and they brought it to the shop and it was basically totaled. So he's going to donate it. And I was like, you donate it to me. So then I just tore it all apart, got the heads rebuilt, put it all back together, and then turned it on yesterday, and it worked. And it's just, that's very satisfying to me. And it helps bounce out my life, you know?
Oh, good. Yeah, balancing is pretty
Yeah.
important. So, did you go on YouTube, read manuals, buy books to actually understand what's in the under the hood?
Yeah. I mean, I've taken it step by step.
Yeah.
Um, a couple like 2 years ago, I didn't even know how to change an air filter. And I brought my wife's car to the dealership and was like, I don't know, like you guys just do whatever needs to be done. And I look at the bill and it's like $55
Right.
for an air filter, you know? And it's
Right.
like I can figure cars are made by humans. I'm a human. I can figure things out. Like
Right.
it's not magic. It's a mechanical thing. So through the Haynes manual, I read those like back to back. A lot of YouTube. I definitely watched a YouTube video on how to disassemble and reassemble my specific engine. And then ChatGPT has been very helpful, and
ChatGPT.
yeah, it's because I have hyper specific questions. Like I have four bolts, and one of them slightly longer than the other ones, and I can't find the bolt hole on the power steering mount, and it'll be like, oh, because that one actually was, whatever the example is, but the hyper specific contextual questions, it's really good at searching data that otherwise I would have a hard time finding, and then coming out with and filtering just the answer.
It's like advanced Google in a way, and you
Yeah,
put in the prompts that's best suited for you, and they find the answer. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Do
yeah.
you use Grok or just Chat GPT or any
Well, I
other
haven't been
sources?
paying for the full version of ChatGPT, so sometimes I go to Claude, or sometimes Google. If you just Google something, it'll come up with an AI answer.
Yeah, that's a new feature. That's
Yeah.
yeah, this year or so. But a lot of AIs coming in. Do you think? What do you see moving forward with AI replacing jobs that I'm hearing?
Hmm.
Manual labor, white hat jobs, or blue collar jobs.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, I kind of see it in a similar way with VR. I mean, a couple years ago, everybody was dumping money into VR development. HTC was putting millions of dollars because it was the new fun technology. And then it had a correction where it boomed, and then it corrected to where the actual interest in that industry is. And then it can continue to grow. And I think we might see that in AI also, because AI is not exactly a new concept. I mean, we've been using AI in our games since I started working there, and before that, I mean,
CPU,
AI.
right? The CPU's type of computer generated, something like that.
Well,
I'm not
yeah, I mean,
familiar,
it's
but
processing on the CPU, yeah.
yeah, yeah,
But I feel like there's a lot of interest in it, and that's really cool. But I don't think that it replaces hard work and the top level people. It allows somebody with a little bit of knowledge to get to moderate knowledge, but it doesn't push you from the moderate level to expert level,
hmm
because the certain things that I am, like, for example, like my job and some of the questions I asked on the vehicle, I knew the answer to, or I've worked through it and I've realized that it's wrong. It's not good at the top level stuff. It's just good at common knowledge and collecting data. I mean, it speeds up. It allows you to speed up your research to
yeah,
get to the fun stuff,
yeah.
but it's not a replacement. I don't think. Um,
I'm hearing about like artificial general AI, things that are, and it's speeding up. It's actually, I don't know, older than it is right now. So, do you see it replacing anything of that's human right now? Especially, it's just building up intelligence, being smarter than the average human.
I guess, but I mean, the sewing machine was a huge uproar with seamstresses, and we adjusted our technology and our expectations to a new tool. I I'm not really on this hype train of it's going to replace all of us and take over. It's just another tool that's being developed very quickly right now because a lot of money is being put into it.
hmm
But I don't think that it's taking over in any way. I think
hmm
that it's really interesting, and I use it a lot myself, like we were just talking about. But
Like
it's
Terminator level or anything. Just
yeah.
speculating in the
I mean, maybe. I think there's some really cool stuff they can do with like a paraplegic and interpreting brain data and sending that data to do motor functions or
right,
control
right.
something. Like that requires a massive amount of processing and logic, and maybe it can help us maybe it can help us figure things out that we wouldn't otherwise be able to figure out because it would take too long.
So
That's maybe.
with the issue like Elon Musk, the chips in the brain, yeah, I understand that it would help, like you just said, but in a way, just my conspiracy mind is just like, okay, this could turn very bad. Uh, am I
Yeah.
wrong in that?
Well, there's like that Black Mirror episode where
Yeah.
she had some kind of brain injury, and then she started saying ads because they weren't paying for the premium feature. Like I thought
Yeah.
that one was pretty like close to home.
Hmm.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think any of us really know for sure. I
Yeah.
I just think that I think that humans are very adaptable. I think that's kind of our main strength and the reason we're here at all to begin with right now
Yeah.
is we take the inputs that we're given and we learn to live in a system, and we continue to develop that system.
Yeah.
I mean, one thing that's fun to think about that I always think about is what if artificial intelligence is the next step in human evolution? Um,
Hmm.
and maybe that's the case. Maybe we'll become more and more technological until our biological bodies are left behind because evolution moves slowly and technological advancement seems to be moving exponentially. But
There's definitely
yeah,
more with the medical, people actually living longer, making breakthroughs through that. Yes, it definitely is a tool, and just taking control of it, not let it go like Terminator level type of stuff. Um,
yeah,
I could see it in that way. We just got to take control of it right now, um, and just don't let it replace us in a way. Do you see universal income, because people are talking about it is going to replace these minimal jobs,
yeah,
these tech, uh, all these things that a computer is used for.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I have heard compelling reasons for universal basic income if we achieve a point in our society where things are being taken care of for us by the systems that we've built, and that leaves nothing for a person to do
Hmm.
other than explore their artistic endeavors. Or I mean, that's kind of like the positive outlook that could happen through AI. So if we're in a prosperous system, but we don't have to work, we
Hmm.
should get a universal income, I would think.
Hmm.
But that would be great, like, but it would only work if our systems that we've built have kind of set us up for that.
Yeah.
And also, like I was just saying, where I get a challenge that's really challenging, and I get the stress sweats, and I'm just like, I need to figure this out. I got 2 hours, and that being the pivotal moments in my career. If we don't have that anymore, because you don't really need to, I mean,
Hmm.
that might be detrimental to us
So
as a
that's a
society.
negative to it. Yeah.
Yeah,
I see. Yeah. To challenge
but
ourselves to build up, create.
yeah,
Yeah. I see that.
I mean,
Uh,
diamonds are created in pressure, whatever that saying is, right?
you're right, 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 right. With the coal and everything, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know. China right now, if you haven't seen China, they already built robots, sex robots, and
yeah,
they're selling that already. I'm like, whoa, that's pretty crazy. The advancement of AI is it's coming in quick, and
it is.
yeah, coming
That's
from,
scary.
yeah,
The
yeah,
combination of robotics and AI, that
yeah.
is
What
scary.
what are your thoughts on that? Do you
I
having
mean,
it in your house, able to do the menial things?
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. That's. it would be kind of cool to have an assistant, a robotic assistant that doesn't get tired and like, hey, go get me the drill, go get and like go walk the dog. Like, but
Hmm.
it's a slippery slope. I don't know if that's. I think that's the same kind of system of putting us in a state where we are
Correct.
becoming lazy and not
Hmm.
achieving on our own.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
Yeah. No,
it's.
it's
I
understandable.
feel like we often ask like, can we do it, but not should we do it? And it's not stop. Like we can't really stop it. It's happening.
Yeah.
Like you see those guys kicking the robots, and then they're like jumping up, and
Yeah.
yeah, what happens when those things get angry and find guns and then can fix each other? Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
I for me, I just wouldn't have a robot with a this with thumbs
thumbs.
around the
Yeah,
house. Yeah.
yeah,
I have a couple guns in here, and I don't want to like give that
right.
away. Yeah.
He's like, back in 2012, you yelled at Alexa, and now I
Ex-
remember that.
yeah, and one day they're gonna probably ask for rights also, and
Yeah,
again, AGI, their minds are gonna be like humans emotionally and stuff too.
yeah,
But yeah.
maybe.
Hmm.
I mean, I was a big fan of Star Trek growing up, and I think they've kind of a lot of things that they have shown in that show kind of have come true in some form.
Hmm.
And androids are they have a whole war based on robotics. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's scary. Obviously, I don't know for sure. I don't have the answer,
Yeah.
but I'm here with you.
Yeah. Yeah. A
But
lot of advancements for sure. Flying cars, things that we
well,
dreamt
they've
of
already
as.
yeah,
Yeah.
they've
Yeah.
already invented flying cars. It's a helicopter.
Oh yeah.
It's just
Yeah. Talking
how
about like reverse technology and stuff with aircrafts and everything that's coming out. Um, Free energy. I feel like a lot of that is coming out also. We're getting to the point where we shouldn't be paying for a lot of the things that should be free, especially with foods. These are just my thoughts and what we talk about on the show and things.
mhm.
Um, yeah, it's just draining for a lot of Americans now. A lot of things are expensive. People can't survive, so I don't know. I don't know, but like building a business is a right path to be, and this is why I'm doing it. Um,
Mhm.
yeah. Um, yeah. Anything else? Let's see.
Well, it is wild how there's free energy beaming down at us from the sun, and if
Right.
we could just harvest that more efficiently,
Yeah.
it's there's so much free energy around us. It's
Hmm.
just about harvesting it.
Solar panels, but just recycling that is destroys the waterways, and just you can't recycle it. That's the thing. So how did you grow up? What was your parents like when you grow up? Were they very strict?
Well,
Creativity wise, like what were you learning from your parents at a younger age?
I mean, I was conceived in a VW bus while my parents were on acid at a Grateful Dead concert,
Whoa.
so they weren't very strict. Uh, my dad definitely, I saw him change. He went from kind of the deadhead to a business owner.
Hmm.
Um, they taught me a lot about self responsibility and go out and get it yourself because nobody else is going to do it for you, while also supporting me and being my support structure.
Hmm.
Kind of, they would let me fall, but not too far. They'd have a like a little safety cap, and I really am thankful to
Yeah.
them for that.
Yeah.
They would always protect me, but let me get hurt at the same time.
Are you
So I
the only child?
no, I have a younger brother and then a even younger sister,
Even younger sister?
but I'm the oldest.
They're all in California still?
My brother is. My sister just went to Washington D.C. She's studying there in her master's program. Um,
Hmm. Okay.
So like, I'm always confused when she tries to explain to me, but she's working in a library and she's working towards a historian degree and
Really?
wants to be involved in kind of data and um, information and helping people. So AI is definitely affecting her industry a lot too.
Hmm.
Um,
What
but
about
yeah,
these huge databases? Does she know anything about that? The ones that are built in Texas, or do you have any thoughts on that? Um, yeah, the
like
500.
like processing server farms or like a data databases, like
I think what you just said, but there's a
like what
huge
they're using.
facility that they're building in Texas now to
Hmm,
house a lot of data.
I guess honestly, I don't know much about it, but
Hmm.
I know it uses a lot of electricity. They start up nuclear power plants to power it and stuff like that. But
Really? What the
yeah,
heck?
didn't New York? I thought I heard that New York just booted up an old nuclear power plant or something like that. I'm not
Hmm.
sure though.
Hmm.
But
I
I
think in
mean,
California too, at least one of them that they had to do it. But yeah, it takes a lot of electricity.
yeah.
Can you expound on that? I kind of want to understand more of it. Uh, like our
I mean,
brains is like electricity too, but like AI needs more of that, right?
every time you go to ChatGPT and say like, "What would happen if I ate goldfish food?" It has to, it has to think about it by using a server, processing power in a computer, and
Hmm.
chips use electricity to power the transistors in them.
Yeah.
So it has to do logic calculations that then consume power to then get the result. Um, and you add all those up,
And it overheats, and you need cooling. What
right?
cooling? Yeah,
Yeah, they have some massive cooling systems, I'm sure, in those buildings.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
yeah.
It's
Air
fun.
conditioning is such a weird thing too, because it blew my mind when I watched a YouTube video about this, where there's no such thing as cold. There's only lack of heat. There's differing levels of heat, but there's no such thing as cold. It's like cold to us is just less heat,
What
and
the heck?
you can't destroy the heat. You can just move it. So your air conditioning takes heat from inside your house and puts it outside.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. That's it. That's
I just thought it was
understandable.
interesting that,
Yeah.
oh yeah, there's no such thing as cold.
Hmm. So you've been traveling. Any experiences on that you want to expound upon? What have you learned? Did you visit any museums? Learn any history?
Yeah, we went to Japan. That was a
Hmm.
really interesting and amazing trip. Um,
Animation. Did you visit anywhere? Learn anything from there?
Not as much. It was more just about the natural beauty for that trip and the cities. Just the level of care that the average Japanese citizen has for their society and how well it functions together was really impressive. Tokyo's so large you can almost see the curvature of the earth from Tokyo Tower, and you still see city.
Hmm.
It's pretty amazing that it's just functional. And
Yeah.
then you try to go to San Francisco and BART doesn't work and it's 40 minutes late and train doesn't show up, and like Japanese trains always show up on time.
Yeah.
Um, and just meeting people there was really nice.
Hmm.
Um, Also, our honeymoon, we went to Switzerland, um, and I loved Zurich. It was like a winter wonder, or sorry, Zermatt was a winter wonderland. Zurich was cool too, but Zermatt is this tiny little town up in the mountains, and there's no public cars allowed, and it's just this like winter wonderland, beautiful, um, right near the mountains that are on the Toblerone um, bar.
Hmm.
It's like it was a fun hike, and we met some people from a country I didn't even know existed, and hiked with them for 10 miles, and it's you get a perspective of the world talking to people that you wouldn't otherwise get. There's just assumptions. Like I tried to order bubbly water and they thought that was hilarious. I'm like, oh yeah, the word bubbly is funny. What does bubbly mean? It's just little stupid things all the way to bigger
Yeah.
concepts that
Yeah.
as an American living in the Bay Area, you're not otherwise exposed to.
So you
Like,
you you would tell people to go out and visit the world,
for
see that
sure.
perspective. Okay.
Yeah, it's important. I mean, if you're struggling, it can be hard. It's expensive to do these kinds of trips.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, before I met my wife and I was on my own and I was making less money, I went to Germany and just with a backpack, and stayed in hostels, and that really gave me a perspective on life too. Like in
On what
Italy,
way?
yeah,
In
in
what
Italy
way?
you don't complain about what you've ordered. If
Mm-hmm.
you order something and then it comes out and it's not what you wanted, you just like, oh well, that's what I got. You're not
Mm.
like, excuse me, like I wanted extra salt on this. Like,
Mm-hmm.
do you, what? No.
Interesting. Do you want to talk about that? How'd you meet your wife? When did you guys get married? And any relationship advice to, because
Yeah.
in relationships nowadays it just seems hookup culture type of thing. You know what I mean?
Well, that is kind of funny because I was hooking up with her roommate,
Oh
and
my gosh, my
they were. I moved into a small house right next door to them, and I had bought like a box of wine, and there were some wines that were sweet, and I brought them over, and that's how I kind of met them. And
Mhm.
she had a dog, a small Australian Shepherd. So I started wanting to take the dog on walks because I missed having a dog. And after my little fling with the roommate was over,
Mhm.
she was like, "Oh, I'll come with you to walk the dog." And we realized we had a lot in common and kind of bonded over hiking and the outdoors and adventures. And I think we just both wanted somebody to have fun with and do things with. And
Yeah.
she also really helped me work to make healthy habits outside of working, just only working. She helped me with that.
Yeah.
Um,
You guys share the same values and beliefs.
for the most part, not everything, of course. I
Mhm.
mean, we share them enough to be able to communicate respectfully to each other about them when we disagree.
Yeah.
Um,
True.
yeah, I don't know.
Communication is very important in a relationship.
Yeah, honesty, really. I think that's maybe if if advice if the best advice I could give is like honesty, even if it's uncomfortable,
Mm-hmm.
because
That's true.
it's things only get worse if you don't if you're not honest about it.
Yeah.
It's more difficult to be honest, but it's better in the long run, and that's easier said than done. But
Yeah.
I guess that's how I went into this relationship, with just full on honesty.
So we were talking offline. You want to have kids? What's going on with that? Like, do you
Yeah, I
plan?
mean, we're not trying, but we're trying ish. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
if I feel like we're in a good point in our lives where that would be a really amazing thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of scary, but and I see my coworkers struggling with kids, and like his youngest kid just got sick, and then the older one got sick, and then his wife got sick, and now he's sick, but he's not allowed to be sick because he
Mm-hmm.
has to take care of everybody.
True.
So that's scary. But and I see that you told me that you have kids, and
Yeah.
that's
You like
sounds
challenges, right?
yeah,
There you
that
go.
would be the ultimate
Yeah.
challenge. You're right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh man. Yeah, that's awesome. Hopefully it is a good time for you if your mind is there, it takes a toll on you, but you kind of just you love the experience. They are the light for me. They're a light, and just make my day, man. Just coming
Yeah,
home, actually seeing them, it really makes my day. And yeah, it keeps you away from work too.
that's good to hear.
Yeah, yeah.
So
So
you would suggest having a kid then?
uh, it's not for everybody, but
Yeah,
if you're prepared, if you're ready mentally,
yeah.
if you want to have that little person, then yeah, if you're for it, and communication between you and your wife too. Yeah.
Do you feel like you were ready when you found out that she was
No,
pregnant?
no, we
Because
were
I
not.
feel like nobody could ever be ready.
Mm-mm. We were very young, like 21, 22 years old when we had our first one.
Okay.
Um, their their difference was like 6 years apart. So when we had our second one, we're like, okay, yeah, now we're ready for that
Now
one.
you're ready. You had
Yeah.
the practice one, and then see,
Mhm.
I was the practice one for my parents, so I get
Oh,
it.
really? And what's the
Not,
age
not really.
difference between you and your
4
brother?
years and then 8 years. Not
4 years,
really,
8 years.
but they,
Yeah.
they they learned how to raise a kid through
Yeah.
me and through yeah.
But it's different. Like even with the second child, it's even more of a challenge because he doesn't listen as much as the first one did. You're trying to figure that out. You're like, but this didn't work with my first one. And then
Uh,
you're trying to try new stuff with this one. It's just like, okay, that's not working,
they
obviously.
got
So
different personalities.
yes, it is. Yeah.
That's funny that kids growing up in the same environment with the same parents can have wildly different personalities.
Right.
You'd think that you'd think that it would be more similar.
Hmm. But you see it in your kid. You're like, yep, that was me when I was younger. I was a
Uh-huh.
bad kid at the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
So growing up
Where
in
did?
go ahead.
Oh,
Go
sorry. I
ahead.
was just asking where you grew up.
I grew up in Vallejo. I was born in
Uh-huh.
Napa. I was gonna ask
Okay.
you like, how was Oakland? From what I'm hearing, Oakland's not so good right now. How did you grow up? How was that like?
It has changed. Now when I go back to Oakland, I'm reminded how cool it is. I mean, there's really awesome spots in Oakland, but there's just more of a desperation in people's eyes, and there's just more. I don't know. There's you got $3 million house with homeless encampment and people with nothing to lose right next to it, and
Yeah.
it's really sad to see that city go that direction.
Hmm.
And I mean, my brother and my parents still live there, and it's a cool city. It's like I don't know if you could get a cooler city, but it's fundamentally flawed in the leadership and just
Definitely.
yeah. I didn't really have much problems. I mean, I was always like a nerdy kid playing D&D, but then I was freakishly large for my age growing up, so
Hmm.
people didn't really mess with me too much. Like you're just that weird kid that looks too old to be here. I don't know.
Hmm.
I was pretty shy, so I stayed to myself. Just I
Yeah.
had my group of friends, and we would play D&D.
Hmm. Do you still talk to those old friends of yours?
And not as much. There's a few people, a friend that I grew up next to, but that's one of the things I do kind of regret is losing contact with people. I mean,
Hmm.
I don't have Facebook or social media or anything like that, so I think that one of the benefits of that would be to keep in contact with those people. It's
Hmm.
just I guess I made the decision that it wasn't worth it to have those social media apps, and everybody just moved. I mean,
Yeah.
even I feel like I've left a trail of friend groups as I've moved around, and
Hmm.
unfortunately, a lot of the times I don't stay in contact with those people.
You were
Not sure what
figuring
that.
stuff out on your own and
Yeah,
stuff. So
yeah,
yeah, and you grew up. You got a well job, and you were finding yourself. You found your creativity, and that kind of breaks away from people that don't understand it. And yeah, it's
I guess
understandable.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, that's the same as a relationship, a romantic relationship. Is if you don't grow together, it's difficult to maintain that.
Hmm. Uh,
Yeah,
s- so why no social media? What is
I don't
that?
know. It just seems like such a waste of time. It's like I have so many things I want to do, and the last thing I want to do is look at my phone. It's like I'm already, also maybe just because I'm on computer screens from the morning to the night. I mean, there's some days that I watch the sun go up and down and I'm on the computer. So it's like after the computer is done, I don't want to be like this on another screen.
Yeah.
Um, but even before, I mean, all in high school, middle school, I didn't do it. I don't really have. I didn't like sit down and say, "Here's my pros and cons. I'm gonna go with this option." It's just, I don't know. It just didn't happen, and I'm
Hmm.
happy without it.
Yeah. Especially with a lot of things in the media, you don't want to drown yourself in that,
Yeah,
or people can't
like
handle it. As
yeah,
at least we came from a time where social media wasn't even a thing. We
uh-huh.
still had YouTube and all this MySpace, but like it's not as much as it is now, where it's just
Yeah,
constantly scrolling and different changes and everything. Your
yeah,
emotions change every scroll, pretty much, is what I'm saying.
yeah. It probably has shaped. I mean, I'm probably definitely has shaped our previous or our next generations after us. I mean, you and I probably are just barely sneaking through and reaping benefits from the information. But I
Hmm.
can't imagine growing up right now and just having unlimited access to just algorithms that are like created by very intelligent people to just get into your brain, you know?
I see what. Yeah, no, I see it that way completely. Like
Yeah.
even with like music, TV, it's called programming, television, social media. It all plays a part into society and what we see now. It wasn't created overnight, man. This thing that we
Hmm.
slowly moved into. You see young people nowadays. I, you're not on social media a lot, but I'm on social media a lot, and it's
Hmm.
just constant chaos out there.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I try to keep my emotions aside from it and just take it in, because this is part of what I'm doing as a career, and I'm constantly in the news, man. That's
Hmm.
yeah, yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's probably very beneficial in
Mm.
a lot of ways to be informed. And I try to be informed and I listen when people talk about information, but sometimes enough is enough. Like
Mm.
I just want to go outside and do something, go chop some wood or something like that, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
People building up skills. What you're doing now, you're a mechanic. Uh, that's a totally different skill set that you learn on your own.
Yeah.
Um,
When the AI robots take over the world and there's one last human group and I'll show up and I'll be like, I have a useful skill.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
The trade works. A lot of people are needed in the trade works. I think like 500,000 in the next 5 years or so. That people need to start getting into trade,
Yeah.
plumbing, mechanics.
The learn to code, or that's what it's called, right? The learn to code, where they pushed young people to learn to work on a computer.
Hmm.
And that worked. A lot of people got white collar jobs, but because of that, the trades, like you said, are lacking talent and lacking otherwise people that might have gone into that industry but had opportunities not to because they just were weighing their options and they were incentivized to do computer work. Um,
Yeah, majority of young people now just want to be famous streamers and stuff. Um, I mean that's totally their life. Uh, it's just dumbing down our society in a way. That's just my thinking.
yeah.
And I didn't want to get into this type of stuff doing that. I actually wanted to be informative, and I think there was a path there where I was just constantly in the news. I was like, hey, maybe I could do something like that. And then AI help. I use AI for the writing and stuff to get the stories together, so it's
Mhm.
useful in my life. I don't think I would have ever done that without AI. So I could see it. Yeah, what you said. It's a tool. Let's
Yeah.
utilize it and not let it control us. Am I right on that?
Right. It's not going to do it for you, but it speeds you up in a way that otherwise you'd have to do a much more. in-depth data collection and analysis.
Yeah.
So it does things that computers are good at doing that humans suck at doing.
Mm.
Like if you have 20 books and within a few of them is some linked information that you need to use to do whatever you're doing better, it'll
Mm.
just read all those books in 2 seconds and be like, oh yeah, this is what you need to do.
Right. Right.
But it's not gonna do it for you.
True.
It'll explain it. I mean, at least not yet. Who
Mm.
knows? Yeah.
All right, Nathan. This was awesome. I appreciate it. Do you have any other things in your work that you want to kind of give a little, besides the Five Nights at Freddy's, or anything that's coming up that you're working on right now?
Well, I mean, we just have to keep an ear out for our official releases because I can't give any insider information, but we are loving working on Five Nights at Freddy's, and I'm really enjoying working on this IP. Um, so it's been a real
Mm-hmm.
pleasure to do that. Um,
So, and
yeah.
you said you've been working on marketing also, right? Well, can you
Well,
expound on
yeah.
that?
I mean, our studio does marketing. We do different types of videos, and we'll release them on YouTube. And
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah, and sometimes I'm pulled in to be part of that effort. We have a
Yeah.
social media team and a marketing team, and sometimes we work with external streamers to show off our game, like Daco and FNAF.
FNAF. The movies. The
Mhm.
Have you been watching the first one? Yeah.
The-
How is that looking like? Are you excited about the new movie coming out?
Yeah, it was really interesting to watch that movie because our studio, I didn't have anything to do with it other than, I guess, kind of it was obviously related. It was both Five Nights at Freddy's, but it wasn't from Steel Wool Studios. So it was really interesting to see the decisions that they made artistically and kind of study it in the same way that I study
Video
video
games.
games.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch the second one. I'm definitely interested to see. Um,
Yeah. Do you
yeah,
see a Okay, last question, and then
yeah.
do you
That's
see
fine.
AI replacing what you do, or anybody in your that you work with right now? Do you can you see it happening?
I think, like I was saying earlier, the most important skill is learning new skills. So as long as that's what I do, I don't identify as specifically, I'm not the guy that does this one thing because eventually that is going to be replaced. If it's not by AI, it's by some other tool.
Hmm.
Um, but I don't think that anybody that is continuing to grow and continuing to learn is going to be replaced by AI. It's going to be a tool in their repertoire to increase their speed and their efficiency and possibly even unlock things that we otherwise would have never gotten to. Because if I'm spending 3 days dealing with something that is really annoying, that's 3 days I'm not spending making something even nicer looking or adding another feature or in that kind of thing. I mean, look at N64 games. They're amazing, but they're also incredibly limited in their technology and what they were running on. And
Hmm.
as we develop new tools to create better things, we unlock new achievements basically, and we can do almost hyper realistic environments now. Things that look like you're walking on the surface of Mars and it's all digital. And that's not just because somebody worked harder. It's because we all worked together, built tools that allowed people to take that next step. So
Yeah.
no, I think it'll replace somebody that's like, I am a painter and I paint this type of person all the time and I'm not going to learn anything else. Then AI could look at that and be like, oh, you've made these 20 different pieces of art. Now I'm just going to pump out a ton that looks similar in different ways. So that
Hmm.
person will be replaced. But if that person is like, well, I enjoyed painting this type of person, but now I'm going to branch out into this other thing, AI is not going to do that for you.
Hmm. So, okay, last question for sure. Last
That's
question.
fine. You're
If
good.
if someone wants to get into your industry, how would they go about Can you leave any tips, positive notes on that?
It's really, it's not about the degree, although that helps, and it's not about who you know, although that helps also. It's really about your own personal drive and passion and willingness to fail a lot. And I think that that goes across multiple industries and multiple um, challenges. But in this industry specifically, there's been a lot of ugly, bad looking things that I've created that I don't want to ever dig up off of my hard drive. But by doing that and failing at it, I know what not to do or how to do it differently next time. So, not just giving up when you mess up, um,
Mhm.
and understanding that it takes a lot of messing up before you start to see success. You're not going to just get on there and then like a week later be like, why haven't I gotten a good job yet? And why haven't I made really great looking things? And also understanding that there's always somebody better than you. Like you shouldn't be striving to be the absolute, like, or at least you should maybe striving, but understanding that you probably won't get there unless you're that one person. But other than that one person that is the best, there's always, no matter how hard you work, there's going to be somebody better than you, and that's
Mhm.
okay. Um, you just need to strive to get to the next step.
I ain't worried about anybody else except me. That's it.
Yeah,
And what I do. Yeah.
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 You can be inspired, but not demoralized by seeing somebody that's better than you.
Yeah. I think that instant gratification, again, social media, that people
Yeah,
and younger generation are wanting nowadays. We never had that. No,
yeah,
we didn't never have
yeah,
that. Yeah. Well, I enjoyed this conversation. I learned a lot. A
yeah.
lot of technical words that I'm not very well versed, but you are. So I appreciate you coming on the show, man.
Well, thank you for giving me the platform to talk
D-
about it.
Definitely. If you
Yeah,
ever want to come on, any sneak peeks of the games you're on, that you're working on, maybe you want to, any release dates that you want to mention, yeah, just come on again. Yeah,
I will. Yeah,
for sure.
cool.
All right, Nathan. Appreciate you
Thank
being
you.
here, man.
Thank you so
Have,
much.
have a good one, man.
You too.